I'm finally emotionally prepared to talk about the end of The Boys. It has been such a journey. Honestly, I did not know how to expect the show to end since I didn't read the comics, but I am mildly satisfied. And I'm going to tell you why it's only mildly. So, if you haven't watched it, spoilers, they finally kill Homelander. I feel like that's not even a real spoiler because that was the whole point of the show since the beginning. But Billy is the one to do it, and there was absolutely no way I would have accepted anyone else doing this. Billy has had a grudge with Homelander since day one for valid reasons. For what he did to his wife, for all the other atrocities he's done, and even for beating up Ryan, because yes, at first Billy only cared about Ryan because that was Becca's son, and Becca, even though she didn't have a choice when she conceived Ryan, still loved him. And Billy's lingering love for Becca not only transferred to Ryan, but he understood that Ryan was not his father's son. Like Ryan isn't abusing his powers the way Homelander does. Ryan actually has a good heart. So actually, now that I think about it, I may have accepted Ryan killing his father as a good substitute, but still, it had to be Billy. Anyway, let's get into how this whole episode played out specifically for Billy. So I've been a fan of Billy since the beginning, even though he has done some grimy shit. Like if I were in the boys universe, I would never trust Billy. Even if I believed in his cause, I would stay far the hell away from him because I know he would throw me under the bus in a second if it would get him to the next step to killing Homelander. And Loki, I respect him. I respect him for it. He is determined. He knows what he wants, but that's not somebody you could be a friend with. That's why I was always worried about MM, Huey, Kimiko, and Frenchie because being around Billy, they knew damn well it was too dangerous. But they all also had their own beef with Homelander, and they knew, not even that deep down, the only way they were gonna kill him was with Billy's crazy ass, and they did it. Now, I predicted in one of my videos, and you can actually go look at my shorts and my TikToks, that Frenchie was not going to make it to the end of the show. Just the way they've been setting up him and Kimiko's storyline, how even though they love each other, they both want different things out of life. I already knew where this was going. Either they were going to kill Kimiko, which is very hard, or they're going to kill Frenchie, which was easier. So I knew Frenchie wasn't going to make it. Honestly, I'm not that sad about it. Over the seasons, he has had less impact, even though he was still important to the storyline. Like he was their chemist, their unofficial chemist, and they needed him to make poison, make all this extra stuff, explosives. So he was still an integral part, but compared to Kimiko, like who was the punching bag of the boys, he was less important. Anyway, when he passed, I was like, dang, like the way he died, it sucked. I mean, it could have been more painful. We've seen some very messed up ways people die in the boys, but he purposely exposed himself when he was hiding to distract Homelander from finding Kimiko. And it's always very bittersweet when you see a character sacrifice themselves for someone they love on screen, when they knowingly know they're not going to make it out of it. And then Kimiko, of course, was went nuts after. I was actually worried the experiment failed. Like he killed himself for no reason, and it didn't. And Kimiko was able to help Billy jump Homelander. Now let's go to that whole scene. Homelander's crazy butt is making a speech in the White House about how he's God. We knew this man was insane. It's been building over the seasons. But this season, I was like, dang, like you're really crazy. The fact that he had mind readers, like soups that could read minds, go and like see who didn't truly believe in him so they could kill them. I was like, dang, like you're not even gonna try to convert? Like you're not gonna try conversion? And then, oh father, like I'm also like fake Christian right there. I understand he may be afraid for his life, But the fact that you also were co-signing Homelander as God, and even when the thought came to him to try to convert people instead of killing them, he didn't stand up for them. Like, there were no true heroes. These soups are not true heroes. Maybe Queen Maeve, but she's not around anymore. I'll give Starlight her stuff. Yeah, there's it's just sad to watch. Anyway, the way Oh Father died with the ball gag, that was actually meant for him and his little sexcapades with his wife. But it was turned against him and shoved in his mouth while he was using his sonic scream, and then he ends up exploding his own head. It's always interesting to me how in The Boys, people's powers are often like they don't have built-in uh, safeguards against their own power. And I think I saw this in Deadpool too. Like, one of the heroes had like a an acid spit, but he wasn't actually immune to his own acid. Sad. It's a sad way to go out from your own power. Anyway, he's gone. I'm cool with it. The deep, I knew from jump when the aquatic animals said they better not see him back in the ocean, that they were going to be the ones to kill him. The fact that Starlight delivered him to the ocean so they could kill him is just a cherry on top. However, I did want them to drag out his death. I felt like it went too fast. He absolutely was one of the most pathetic people I've ever seen on screen. Chase Crawford, you did your thing being the Deep. Like, you acted your butt off for that because I hated the Deep. I hated him. I thought about them frying him up like fried fish. I hated every bit of that man in every arc, even when he tried to pretend like he was a Christian now and he was going to turn his life around. I hated him. And when Homelander read him for filth again, the fact that he still didn't register that Homelander hates him, even though he blatantly told him and he thought it was a test. He's just a dumbass. Like, not even a lovable dumbass. He's just a dumbass. Anyway, let's pivot back to Homelander and Billy. So they show up in the White House to jump him. Kimiko finally is able to shoot off her power to remove the what did they call it? Super V? It's not Super V. I don't know why I'm blinking right now. Whatever they call that thing that was supposed to make him immortal, Kimiko was able to neutralize that with the help of Billy and Ryan, who came to like basically hold Homelander down. And beautiful scene. It had to be the two of them. And Homelander starts crying. He's starting to offer to suck Billy off so he can leave him alive. His begging was like, I was like sitting there like, man, I knew you were pathetic, but damn. Like, you know Billy's not gonna let you go. But something I found interesting is that he was like, you remember all those times I let you go? And that's true. Early seasons, he was like almost excited to see Billy. He's like, William, William, it's you. Like, he honestly could have killed Billy seasons ago, but he just liked messing with him. But still, that I'm not justifying him, like Billy not letting Homelander go. Like, he needed to die. The way he did it, I also wanted him to kill Homelander slow, but still, I'm satisfied with the way he did it. He like, I can't put the clip in here because I think it'll get blocked by YouTube because it's so gory. But he shoved his infamous crowbar into him and just, and his head just like, I don't know what the mic is picking up my little special effects, my sound effects. But I was like, dang, that's how it's gonna end. Of course, they had to come and throw some heartbreak in there. I honestly thought after that Billy would, I don't know, go to prison or something because he did some atrocities, or he would end up like offing himself. But and I sort of was right because Billy goes back to their little hideout and he first of all he tells Ryan, let's go live our lives out. Like, he's trying to establish a family with Ryan, And Ryan's like, no, like, I still hate you. Just because I helped you kill my father doesn't mean I like you now. You're grimy. And I don't blame Ryan. And we end up seeing Ryan, like, I guess, joining MM's family for their event. So, like, I guess MM unofficially adopts Ryan, which I'm cool with. MM is a great father, a great role model. Yes, he gets the job done, but he is nowhere near as messed up as Billy. And Ryan needed a good father figure. MM is that one. But so Billy's like, you know what? Fine. Ryan doesn't want me. At least I still have my dog, Terror. Terror. He goes to wake up Terror from his nap. Terror's not moving. And I legit was like, ah, like I out loud, I was like, ah, like, damn. After all this, and I don't remember in the show if they said Terror was sick. I vaguely remember Billy giving Terror stuff. Like, was he giving him medicine? Like, was Terror, I know the original actor, the dog actor passed away. Um, but maybe I don't know, show version of Terror was he sick. But then again, Kimiko was walking around irradiated, and everybody was just standing close to her, including Terror. Like, maybe Terror's poor little old heart just couldn't take the radiation and the stress. Like, I someone had told me that Homelander was going to be the one to kill Terror. They said they had that spoiler from the comics. They told me that, and I'm glad they were wrong, because that would have messed me up. I would have flipped the laptop. But still, sad to see Tara go. I'm glad it was peacefully. But after that, Billy was done. Billy was like, I ain't got nobody left in this place. I guess I'm gonna go kamikaze. He was gonna release the poison that's gonna kill all the soups, including himself. Um, but Huey's not dumb. Huey has come a long way, and he's not as naive as he was when he first started hanging out with Billy. Huey caught up to him and unfortunately had to stop him. And honestly, I'm okay with the way Billy's story ended. It had to be Huey. I did not want any of the soups killing Billy. It had to be Huey. But Huey was sad to see him go. He passed away. But life moved on. Like I said, MM looks like he got back together with his wife. I think it's his wife. He has his daughter back, and he has Ryan by his side as a adopted son. What is Kimiko doing? Did I forget that scene? Drop it in the comments. I don't remember what Kimiko is doing after that. But then we have Huey and Annie, who is pregnant. They're having a kid. And it's so odd to me that he's naming their kid after Robin, his girlfriend who was ran through, that sounds so wrong, ran through by A-Train at the beginning of the series. Now, I understand why. I understand the logic, because she's the reason why he got in with the boys in the first place, to get justice for her. And yes, and it's kind of beautiful he names his kid after her, but your current girlfriend, though, she's cool with you naming your baby after your dead girlfriend? I don't know. This is kind of weird. I don't know how if I would be cool with that. Anyway, beautiful ending to the story for Huey, Annie, MM, Ryan, I guess. Don't know what's going on with Kimiko. Somebody for real, tell me what's going on there. I can't remember. Sad to see Butcher go. I love to see him on my screen. Every time he said diabolical, I was like, it's my favorite thing to say now. But I am still going to be tracking Carl Urban's career. Everything I've watched him in. Lord of the Rings. Thor. His new movie coming out. I've seen Star Trek. Like, he's been everything I've watched him in, I loved him in. I can't wait to see what he does next. But I'm so sad there's no more Billy Butcher. Also, I realize, and people are gonna flame me up for saying this, Billy and Homelander had a lot of similarities. They're both crazy. They both are willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want. They both had absentee slash fathers, though Homelander's is a little more complicated. His dad was in ice, then defrosted and hated him, and then tried to abandon him again. Billy's dad was straight up abusive. Billy had to kill his father. Yeah, awkward. Also, isn't it interesting how messed up Homelander is to want to keep his father close so he freezes him and keeps his frozen body in his bedroom? Like, every time I think you crazy, you show me you're crazier. But I think they said there's a new show coming out with Soldier Boy, so maybe that's why they kept him on ice instead of killing him off. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's supposed to like take place back in the day, back in his heyday, but who knows? Maybe they'll bring him to the present again. One thing that I hated about the finale is the role of the Gen V kids. Specifically, Marie. What was the point of Gen V at this point? Right? What was the point? Like, we just see Godelkin again? Is that the only point? They were hyping up Marie's power so much, putting her at a similar, if not the same level as Homelander, just for her to be a bus driver at the end of this. Like, you might as well have, like, written her off the show her dying or something. Because that was absolutely useless. I was so annoyed. After all that buildup, and I absolutely started to like Marie as a character. I felt like she was selfish at first, but with her friends, with Jordan, um, decided she really wanted to be her hero and stop Homelander, and for her not even to be present. They could have had her involved the same way Ryan was, helping to hold down Homelander so he couldn't run away from Kimiko's beam. I just feel like she was very misused, and I don't know. I gotta see if the writers have an interview somewhere talking about why they pivoted like this. It was just sad to see. Anyway, I'm on the hunt for new shows to watch, so make sure you drop your recommendations and you follow. And let me know how you guys felt about the finale. What scenes would you have changed if possible? How do you feel about the way Billy killed Homelander? Like I said, I feel like it was too slow, but I still loved it. I love that he brought his infamous crowbar in there. And I'm gonna miss Billy. Catch you guys next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.